I've been thinking a lot lately about my life in 2024. How many goals did I set in January? Did I manage to do them? Did I achieve anything? But I reminded myself habits I built last year, like my morning routine and healthy eating habits that keep me healthy and motivated. Maybe I'm not looking for a complete change, but finding ways to build on what I started, finding goals that will better align with the life I desire. That's the goal. How to elevate my life in 2025. Continue doing a few things I enjoy and do it just a little bit better. Welcome back to my vlog today. If you're new here, I'm Prang. I make food, fitness and wellness content and I'm excited that you join me today.
2025, here's to the first vlog of the year. I kid you not, if you asked me a couple of months ago that I would be out here in the cold enjoying my run, I would absolutely tell you that you're talking BS. I used to hate running. Look at me now, enjoying my run, seeing sunrise. Anything can happen in 2025, everyone. Anything can happen. Hi bestie, how's it going? How's January treating you so far? It is that time that we now start thinking about what we want to do with our life. Last year, if you remember, I did a little series of life reset, and this year I guess we're gonna do something similar because I found that doing a life reset, planning out my life for the year helped me so much on a personal level and also on a professional level. And if you're with me today, I'll be sharing how I plan to elevate my 2025, how I'm gonna set my goals, what I do to reset on the New Year's Day, and also how we gonna achieve all of these goals together. But right now it's starting to get late. I really enjoyed my run today. I think this is something that I embraced. There's so many good things that happen when you start your day early, and also you get to see sunrise every day, and I get to appreciate, I guess, like waking up, which is something that's so simple. I'm gonna stop being cheesy. I'm gonna head back home, get up, get ready, make myself some nutritious breakfast, and then we're gonna start our day strong. So yeah, I'll see you at home. I used to dislike Weetabix until I found a way to make it delicious. Like, it doesn't taste of a lot. Oh shit, I used the wrong protein powder. I want to have chocolate flavor today. Key to elevate the flavor of Weetabix is flavor your milk that you soak your Weetabix. And in my case is I just add mixed protein powder with milk. I add lots of milk. Cutable with 1 stone, which is, I add protein to my Weetabix and also improve the flavor. I quite like my Weetabix to be a bit more on the crunchier side, a bit like granola. About 100 grams of yogurt. And I'm adding some fruits, banana, the usual ones. And today I'm having nectarine. I know it's not in the season. Some seeds. And of course, peanut butter, because I like it. It's like eating cake for breakfast. I think you have to try this. If you remember last year that I posted my Life Reset Challenge 2024, let me be honest, I think it was one of the best things that I've done for myself in 2024 because it made my life a little bit better, more organized, and I felt like, I have kind of more like putting myself some system that will help me get on with my year a little bit better. Some of the habits stuck with me for the rest of the year, and those are also habits that I continue in this year. But some of them kind of fell through. What I realized was that over committing wasn't necessarily good for me, because if you're being too hyper productive, then that means you kind of almost like stressed out that you have to do all of these things that might not always beneficial for you. That's what happened to me. I kind of got a bit stressed, and I simply just couldn't follow through all the actions that I intended to do. Shit happened, and shit always happen throughout the year. But definitely there are things that I love from last year. Journaling is one of them, but unfortunately it fell through. But I plan to bring it back this year. Google Calendar was my best friend, but I don't always respect the schedule that I prescribe for myself, the plans and the goals that we have, that we try to set for ourselves. It just have to be simple. I have to think more realistically what actually works for me. And my approach for this year's goal setting is to simplify as much as I can, but effective. I've been doing these 3 things that as a part of my resetting ritual. Firstly, I'm so all about decluttering and cleaning out the room and sorting through some of the clothes that I kept in the bag, sieving through them, selecting them, whether they need to go, they're too worn out and then they don't serve me anymore, putting them in the charity pile. I also discover some of the items that I might have forgotten. It didn't serve me at the time and I still kept it because they are still relatively new. Now it's actually the items that I've been looking and wanting to buy, so now those save me some money. So I highly recommend you to kind of regularly decluttering your wardrobe or your house, and that also includes my sorting through my emails, removing my mail inbox, and also with my old laptop that I need to have a final check to get if I miss any documents in that, and also to take that to recycling center. And on the New Year's Eve, I don't know about you, I think I'm at the age of I don't care too much about fireworks. I actually rather going to bed earlier, having a cozy evening, wholesome evening, having home cooked meal like what I did this year, and head to bed a little bit earlier to be able to wake up first thing in the morning, seeing sunrise, to welcome the new year. And I think that it is such a blessing to be able to see sunrise. And the last thing that I always do is to start pondering about life. Not even to write down the goals, just kind of simmering it at the back, in the back of my head, slowly reflecting on my life in the last year, and then try to think about what I want to do come the new years and beyond that. Essentially, this is kind of my approach to leading up to actually planning and setting my goals. It is a ritual and an action to cleanse. Now I need to finish my breakfast. I like chatting while having a meal, but at the same time, because I keep talking too much, then I don't really get to eat my food. Anyway, I'm gonna finish my breakfast and then I'm gonna start my work day. I think I have just made one of the most elaborated lunch ever. Let's just make pasta baked for lunch. And then now I just pop that into the oven. And while we wait, I guess it's a good time for us to talk a little bit about how I actually set my goals and plans for the year. I think my approach to goal setting is slightly different. I don't like to cram it in one day. It is overwhelming and impossible to sitting down for the whole day and then walk out with a list full of goals and actions. Goal settings actually requires a lot of attention. It is an ongoing process that built up and lead up since maybe around December time, during January, and sometimes just go beyond January to February, because I don't always have it all figured out and I don't expect myself to have it all planned out. Don't just put pressure on yourself and trying to force yourself to come up with plans and goals just for the sake of it. Goals that we come up right now has to still be achievable, and it has to reflect the reality of your life and your circumstances, and it has to have the purpose on why do you want to achieve those things. And maybe it's gonna tap into some of the root causes or the pain points you found that last year it's prevented you from achieving, say, certain health goals. And I think one of the frameworks that from the corporate world that works and applies so well to this is SMART framework. You might have heard or might not have heard about the SMART framework. SMART is basically specific, measurable, the goals has to be achievable, relatable, and time bound. I feel like this framework is such a good way to make things more tangible, and therefore even if you manifest something, you have a goal, but you still need to set a time for that. When do you expect this to achieve? Is it relevant to your lifestyle or your desirable outcome? When you manifest something, when you write down what you want to manifest, it has to be very specific. What, when, how, who, why. So I think like SMART goal is definitely a good framework for us. I also apply this framework when I plan my goals. And this year I did my plan setting session a little bit differently because this time I involved my husband in the process as well. I think it is a good practice for us as a couple to understand the goals of each other, and therefore we keep each of ourselves accountable, and also we can provide support where we can. We split our sessions into multiple days, kind of focus on each categories. For the categories that we wanted to cover, we have health and wellness goals, and we have finance, we have couple or relationship goals, and we will also have career, and then we will have sort of more like emotional and spiritual. And then we sit down, we give ourselves some time for each category and to write down about 3 to 5 goals that came to our mind, and then we kind of talk it out and discuss. And I think it was really helpful for also us to feel a bit more open, put on a lo-fi music on the background, have ourselves a cup of tea while we discuss. And to be honest, I'm not sure about you, but even just by the action of saying it out loud, writing it down, it feels much more tangible, it feels a lot more real. And that's actually motivated me and feel very positively about the future, about what's to come in this year. It is definitely an ongoing process that you keep thinking about it and keep looking out for things. But now that you set your goal, you kind of train your brain to filter out the information that doesn't relevant to what you want to do, and also to tell your brain that to keep looking out for information and things that actually relevant to these goals. Right now I think my pasta baked is pretty much so done. Hot. Ooh, this is yum. We came here earlier today, but if any day, then today is probably a nicer day to come and walk around the lake. You might notice that I did not mention, oh my god, pigeons, so many pigeons. I did not mention doing a vision board because I wasn't planning to, and I must confess that it doesn't really resonate me as much on a deeper emotional level. It might be embarrassing to admit, provided that I'm a designer and I should be a visual learning, but I'm actually more of a bullet point type of person. Kind of worked a little bit better with just imagine it in my head. If I fancy doing a vision board, I'll do it later. I don't know why my hair just spit it out like that. What a lovely day. It's cold, but it's very nice. Oh, I feel like I'm aged. Sitting down on the floor and start to make noises. I'm having my matcha. How are we going to achieve all the goals So how are we going to achieve the goals that we set for ourselves? When I sat down with my partner, I have my notepad here that, from our session. For each category and each goals that we want to improve ourselves, we list out the action, 1 to 3 actions that we could come up at the time. These actions should be something that is very simple and that should be measurable as well. The keys to successfully achieving the goals, firstly for me, is that you need to put some sort of system in place. So one of the approaches that I really loved is the habit stacking. You kind of incorporate a new activities or new routine into your existing routine, so then you don't feel like you have to go completely all out of your way. Gradually introduce new healthy habits. For example, for me, I have some injuries that I need to consistently doing the prehab and rehab. One of the few things that I have to do more seriously is to stretch my calves and also to build muscles on my flat feet. I have these massage balls rather than feeling like I have to schedule an extra time to massage my feet. I could simply, just doing it while I watch my Netflix in the evening. Another example for, actions that are actually measurable and achievable, I can take an example from our kind of relationship and couple goals. We would like to explore new hobby to do together because we spend so much time together and then we ran out of things to do and things to say. That's the hard truth. 2 years into the marriage and then we already feel like an old couple. We haven't decided that what we're gonna do or how we're gonna do it, but we have explored the ideas of finding new activities that we can do as a couple once every month. Another thing that we also wanted to do is that we should take it more seriously to plan out our date nights or date afternoon, because I don't like going out in the evening anymore. We commit ourselves to at least having one special meal out once every 2 months. I mean, there needs to have some sort of accountability so that we both can keep doing it and not feel like, just let ourselves off the hook. Secondly, I think it is important for you to document your progress in whichever form it is, whether just taking photos, say if you also want to kind of improve your health and fitness, documenting your progress is so key. Taking the measurements at the beginning of the month, taking some photos to see the progress, and then you can compare each other, like, the month 1 and month 2. Even the tiniest progress already makes you different to your motivation. Thirdly, people just tend to overlook this point. Small wins are a lot more important than big wins. I would encourage you to celebrate those small wins a little bit more. Say if you want to build your cardiovascular health and then you run and you feel less out of breath than usual, then celebrate those things. All of this to say about sharing and celebrating and documenting. You also build yourself some accountability, especially if you're on your own, if you don't have any roommate as well. By sharing the words, also keep you accountable for these small actions that you take. And lastly, this point, I think you've heard me talk about it so many times, and I'm gonna keep repeating it. In order to achieve whatever goals that you set, you have to help yourself to set yourself up for those successes. And preparation is probably like the most important part of it. If you don't plan out beforehand, if you have not thought this through, how you're gonna help yourself to actually start doing it and not just thinking it. People just tend to think that, you have this goal, okay, we're gonna jump up one day, it's gonna do 1, 2, 3, 4, it's all gonna be good. People tend to overlook the part that is come before we actually doing that action. For me to be able to maintain my good level of nutrition, to make sure that I fuel myself and to eat enough to be able to perform and progress at the gym, I don't just simply wake up one day and know exactly what I want to eat. I track my macros as well and using my fitness pal, but it's not just about tracking, it's about for me to plan the night before. At least I have some ideas that I'll be eating this much, like how I'm gonna split the meal in each day, so that I will hit the right amount of macronutrients that I am required to. So then the next day, I don't have to spend a lot of time thinking about what I want to eat. But obviously, it's not always the same every day. Some nights after dinner, I was like, I don't want to think anymore about food. Like, why would I gonna spend another half an hour thinking about food? But at least if I have something listed down, that will still give me some flexibility to change on the day if I feel like, I want to eat something else. There are some things that you can do and to prepare yourself and set yourself up for success, especially when you have to do things that is a little bit uncomfortable, pushing you out of a little bit of a comfort zone. If you don't plan anything before, you almost pretty much set yourself up for failure. But to me, this year is going to be a very exciting year, and I hope it's going to be a very exciting year for everyone as well. One of the big goals of this year is to continue growing this YouTube, this channel, and hopefully maybe I can grow a little bit more on Instagram as well. So maybe hit me a follow if you have not already. But I also want to look more into like self-development, self-love and self-care. I want to be more confident about myself, to show up confidently for you to see who I really am, and along the process I will also find who I am and where I am in this tiny corner of internet, and also find a new hobby, and one of which is I really want to make sourdough. And I already planned that I will share the process with you. Other than that, just continue growing my muscle, building strength and physique that I really want. I'm very happy with where I am now, but I know that I can push my boundaries even more, even further, treat my pain and injuries, continue eating well, healthy, on a vegetarian diet, and explore many new types of food and cuisines. So many exciting, I just keep rambling now.
Obsessed with this rice noodle at the moment because I realized that I can eat a lot of it. I'm excited that we have arrived to the end of the week, and now it's almost my bedtime. I already prepared some of my gym clothes and I just put it in my workroom where I usually just get up and dress up there. I'm really sorry that I look not particularly, I do sleep like this because it's been very cold. Anyway, so many exciting things to look forward to in 2025, and I hope that you would feel ready now that you have a set of plans and goals and actions in place. Even though, I might not feel 100% ready, but definitely I feel more hopeful about the future. At least have an idea of what I should do to be able to achieve my goals and also make myself proud at the end of the year. Yeah, I hope you have a very restful January and also motivating January, and I'm very grateful for you that you joined me today. I hope you have a very beautiful day wherever you are, and I'll see you in my next vlog very, very soon. Bye!